I'd start by saying just by the nature of our company, we're a big investor in communities and economic development. We invest about $2 billion in capital a year, and most of that lands here in our home state of Michigan and in the communities that we serve. That makes us year in and year out the largest investor of capital in the state. There are bigger companies, Ford and GM and so forth, but they're international companies that spread their investments around the globe. We're very concentrated in the state of Michigan. So we are investing a lot in the future of the state. Right now, it's concentrated in a couple of areas. One big area is environmentally driven. Renewables, for example, we're about $2 billion into a $3 billion investment effort to achieve 10% of our energy output from renewables by 2015. Just to give you a sense for that, right now there's a project, one of those stars up in the thumb is about a $250 million investment in wind turbines, about 100 megawatts. To give you a sense for that, 100 megawatts would produce about 1% of our annual output, enough energy for about 50,000 homes. And we're playing that out over and over around the state, principally in wind. That's our best renewable resource here in Michigan, to reach that 10% goal a few years from now. Another big area of investment down there in Monroe, Michigan, for example, are environmental upgrades. Billions of dollars going into this area as well, directed at clean air. The Monroe plant, for example, is a couple $2 billion campaign. When we're done with that, the emissions from that plant will be about 5% of what they were prior to the start. So it'll make it not only one of the largest plants in the country, but one of the cleanest. And then there's always significant investment in our infrastructure, so upgrading the reliability of our electrical infrastructure, the safety of our gas pipeline network. Now that expenditure gives us a great platform to play into what the governor kicked off here at Mackinac last year, what he labeled his Pure Business, or Pure Michigan Business Connect effort. And it really is an effort to get large Michigan companies like ours to push more of their spend to Michigan suppliers. And after talking with them last year, we signed up to increase our spend over a 5-year period with Michigan companies by $750 million. And we agreed to do that, $50 million increase in the first year, $100 million in the second year, $150 million, and so forth. So 5 years out, we'd be spending about $250 million a year sustainably with Michigan companies that we weren't previously. So in our first year, last year, 2011, our target was a $50 million increase. We more than doubled that. And what we learned in the process is that what we imagined might be difficult was a lot easier than we thought. And we were able to go out and find Michigan suppliers who were ready to be competitive on cost, could be fully competitive on quality. We had to sacrifice none of that. And of course, $100 million back into Michigan from us multiplies many times when you talk about the economic multiplier effect. We're in year 2. Our goal this year is $100 million. We're well ahead of that goal this year as well. So I think what the governor kicked off last year was a great idea, and I've been encouraging my peers to direct their purchasing personnel to go after the same thing. It's easier than people might imagine to make that happen.